Hi, I'm Sabrina Birch, and I'm here to tell you how Friday Nights at Rincon, Road to Recovery, Celebrate Recovery got started. The vision of a recovery program had been talked about by Kurt and myself more than a couple of times. We were in our first year of marriage, and at that point in time, we were settling into our new life, and it was just a discussion at that point. I had no idea what a recovery program would look like, but I know one thing. We loved the people that we worked with, and we loved the church family that we had. Because of these issues that we had seen on a weekly basis, we felt a calling towards helping people in our Christian service, and social services seemed to fit the bill for me. I changed my major in school and was now taking classes in social work and substance abuse. I was also volunteering with a social service program here in town. Other than that, I felt that I had no background or experience to be involved with any type of formal recovery program. Basically, I felt like I did not have the background to deal with these issues, but again, because of the needs we were seeing, something had to be done. Little did we know back then what we would be getting into. And little did I know what a huge impact this would make on my life. This would prove to be especially true for myself because I did not have a clue. Now that I look back on it, I had a huge elephant in the room, and I was in full-blown denial about what I'd went through in the past because of the abuse that I'd been through. We had the administrative side of starting a recovery program to think about, and the logistics to get it going, and everything that would entail. But that is not all there is. There's more to it than that. There has to be a heartbeat in a recovery program, or an engine that propels it, and this is where I will begin our story. A brief background to get you started. At the age of 51, I was starting to deal with all that I had been through since I was 17 years of age. I had been married young, I had 4 children, and I lived in a completely dysfunctional home, which was abusive in every sense of the word. I lived this life for many, many years, not telling anyone, not even my parents, but only a few of my close friends. After a long period such as this, you start to deny or detach from what is going on to survive and to cope with this life in which I was doing. Your mind and body can only stand this for so long, and then you begin to suffer the consequences of doing this. I had now been divorced, and my youngest son and I were living with my mother. My son was playing baseball with a traveling team and was offered a full scholarship to play baseball with Pima College. Life was good, and I was happy in getting my life back together, except for one problem, and that is when my son would go out with his friends at night or leave for a baseball tournament and be gone for a couple of days. Then my problems kicked into full gear. I could not sleep at all. I would wake up in a panic if I heard a noise, and I would be up all night. I thought I would hear gunshots, and that would startle me to death. I was at the point where I would sleep in my clothes with my purse, my keys by my side, ready to make a run for it if I was in danger. This started to happen constantly. Some of you probably know that this is PTSD in its truest form. Sometimes it would happen when my son was home at night. The trauma of the past was catching up with me quickly, and I was wearing down to a frazzle. I had been in counseling, but that only showed me what I was dealing with clinically. It did not get to the heart of the matter. So I started trauma counseling by the suggestion of one of my friends who had seen a trauma counselor, and she thought it would help me. I continued this after we were married, but my sleep problems persisted. Same scenario as my mother's, but a different address. I would be up checking windows and the door, hearing all sorts of sounds at night. It was controlling me in more ways than one. To make a long story short, I begged God to help me. I did this time and time again. And finally, one night of being up, I told God that I am no different than any other person who had a problem with drinking and drugs. I was out of control and I needed help. Fear and fear of the unknown had its grip and control over me, and it ran my life. Now our story begins. We had decided to go and check out Victory Assembly of God's Celebrate Recovery program. We went and were welcomed, and they offered us dinner. We did that, and we found our seats. The one thing that struck me immediately was that I felt totally welcome and safe in that environment, which I have now learned is so important in recovery. I was happy in taking in all these new sights and really enjoying myself until testimony time. Things changed almost immediately for me. I listened to the video testimony of a woman who had been through pretty much what I had been through. When she started talking about the abuse, I started to feel sick inside and started to sweat. She kept on speaking of how her abuse happened and how God delivered her step by step. I was in my seat and the tears started to well up in my eyes, and I felt like I was going to lose control and start to cry, which I did. By the time the lights came on, the tears were streaming down, and I told Kurt that I didn't know what to do and that I couldn't stop crying. He reassured me that it was okay, and now we were headed off to group. The gentleman in charge of the groups took one look at me as I was walking out the door and said, "You need help, go there with them." He pointed out to a group of ladies walking across the campus. I did not know at the time that it was the abuse group, but I found out after our large group that night that it was with women who had been a victim of all kinds of abuse. The most important thing I found out was about the step studies, and that was the main component of the Celebrate Recovery program. You have worship one night, and then on a separate night you have the step studies. I was told that step studies are the real work that makes Celebrate Recovery a success. I was also told that there was a step study group at St. Paul's Church on the east side, and that they had Celebrate Recovery program there. I started to attend, and that was the best thing that I could have done. I started my group, and we started through the books. I learned about some things, but not all, such as denial, hope, sanity, turn, action, inventory, confess, admit, ready, victory, amends, forgiveness, grace, gratitude, and give. While I was at step study one night, Kurt had gone back to Victory again and had met Joe Fisher. Joe had invited Kurt to play golf. Through their golf game, a subsequent lunch was arranged. We had met for lunch and we began to talk business about Celebrate Recovery. In addition, Sandra Fisher, Joe's wife, had offered to train me and also to sponsor me. I could have not asked for a better teacher. Sandra and Joe Fisher have started Celebrate Recovery all over the country and have done it for years. I cannot thank Joe and Sandra enough for all they have done for us and in helping us to formulate the vision of Friday Nights at Rincon, Road to Recovery, Celebrate Recovery. Laura, who leads one of our step studies, was trained by Sandra Fisher. We started our little group here at Rincon Baptist with 11, and we have run up to 60 on a Friday night. If everyone showed up, we would not be able to seat them all in a small sanctuary. We have a true family here, and also all the family things that go on in families, the good and the bad. We are there to support and love one another and build friendships that last for a lifetime. We have folks from all walks of life, from professionals to those who cannot work. We have a meal which has proved to be so important. For some, this is their meal of the day on Friday. We also have child care, and our babysitters have worked tirelessly and without complaint and have done a tremendous job. As we look back, all that Kurt and I have been through has been for the glory of God. He gave us back all the years that the locusts have eaten. We're able to relate to and work with and to have an understanding with those who have been through the recovery process and those that are starting the recovery process. For that we are grateful, and we want to thank you all so very much for your love and support of our Celebrate Recovery program. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Galen from Celebrate Recovery. I've been going since the first day. It means a lot to me because it's really helped me get through my addictions. And I just love the people here.
Hi, my name's Dave, and I'm just glad to be part of Celebrate Recovery. I've been coming for several months, and it's just been an amazing process, and I look forward to just my growth spiritually in my walk with Christ. Been battling addiction with alcohol and many other things for about 37 years, and Celebrate Recovery has truly made a difference in my life.
Celebrate Recovery for me is more than just recovery from my hurts, habits, and hang-ups. It's actually helped me forgive people that have hurt me in the past. And to me, that's the best thing. I live free from all that hurts and habits, but also free from all the hurts of past unforgiveness.
Yes, my name is Greg, and I've been coming to Celebrate Recovery for almost 9 months. When I first showed up at the church, I was nearly suicidal. I was like right on the edge. Somehow God led me to Recon Baptist Church, and this recovery group has really done marvels for me. Along with the Bible study here at the church and the one-to-one counseling I get from Kurt, the pastor, one of the pastors here, I'm now on the path to recovery, and I can't but do nothing but recommend a recovery group for people that are suffering from depression. I don't have a problem with alcohol or drugs. Mine stemmed from a long history of vicious child abuse and multiple traumas that just took me out. Anyway, that's it.
Celebrate Recovery has helped me understand God's place in my life, or my place in God's will. It's helped me with my struggles with my alcohol addiction, my drug addiction, and my homosexuality. I'm learning that I am a new creature in God, and He loves me.
I grew up a drug addict and alcoholic. Since I found Celebrate Recovery and Jesus, I have been able to be free of drugs and alcohol. I come to Celebrate Recovery to learn more about recovering from drugs and alcohol, and how Jesus, the power of Jesus in my life, can allow me to be free of all the bondage of the chains that I was bound to as a child, and the fear of all the things I ran from. I am now, I have the strength of Jesus in me, and I have the people around me in Celebrate Recovery to encourage me, and I am able to do all things through Christ, who is strong in me.
Celebrate Recovery has helped me a whole lot. It has helped me become closer to God, helped me realize what type of person I really am, what type of person I was, and what type of person I'm really going to be in the future. So I've met a lot of good people here. I enjoy coming. Really don't have too much more to say.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joyce, and I've been coming here for a short time, but I want to make it a long time. And what this church has done for me is just is brighten my smile. It makes me just know more about life, and I want to keep learning more about life. And it's going to also make me just a brilliant mother towards my children, and many, many more things. Thank you.
Celebrate Recovery has saved my life. It has brought me joy that I thought I'd lost forever. It has given me back things in my life that I thought I would never have again. It has taken care of me and allowed me to learn to take care of myself. It has shown me a different walk of life that is far more enjoyable and less painful than the one I was on. Celebrate Recovery is just a life-changing process for the better.
What has Celebrate Recovery done for me? A lot. as a Christian, it's really difficult to find a Christ-centered group where you can go and share your hurts and hang-ups. I'm a Christian, been one for a long time, yet I still had issues that need to be dealt with. Couldn't find a place to take care of them. Drove down the road one day, my friend says, "You need help." And I saw your sign, Road to Recovery, and I thought, okay, that's where I'm going to find some help. I came and I found grace here, I found mercy, I found acceptance. I found Jesus Christ in a center of healing and recovery of real issues that I have. When I go to chapel, I not only hear a solid message about Jesus Christ, but it's focused on the issues that I've had in my life and others are having in theirs also. When I go to my small groups in there, I find ladies who are compassionate and caring. They're hurting, but they're confidential, they're friendly, and they love me, and they let me just be me and work through my hurts and my hang-ups. However, they keep me accountable. I don't get away with anything. And so we come out of there crying, but we come out of there feeling better because we know that Christ is touching our hearts and healing us. I go to my small step studies. There I find a woman who's extremely confidential, who works me through my past and my present, the hurts and the things that have caused me to be who I am today. And I'm finding healing, and I'm finding hope in Jesus Christ through Celebrate Recovery. This is a place where Jesus is pronounced, and yet nobody is rejected. I feel accepted, I feel loved, I feel like I have an opportunity to minister, all in whatever capacity I'm capable of. I really appreciate Celebrate Recovery. I appreciate the leadership here. I appreciate Rincon Church for hosting it. Thank you. God bless.
What has Celebrate Recovery done for me? Celebrate Recovery has shown me a pathway to peace. I've never had such good friends in my whole life. I've always been kind of a transient in my own life, so being shown the direction that I'm supposed to be going and finding a pathway to be closer to God has always been something that I've desired, and the fact that I had such awesome people praying for me to fail in all my addictions made it great.
Celebrate Recovery is a safe place. You can say whatever you want and no one really judges you. You're surrounded by a bunch of Christian people, and it's wonderful because you really feel like you belong, and you know your problems are not just your own, but everyone else has similar problems, so you don't feel alone anymore. I'm done.
What I love about Celebrate Recovery is that I find people of like mind with myself who have issues in their lives. We come from dysfunctional families. We have so many hang-ups and so many things, and I'm learning how to handle these situations with the tools that Celebrate Recovery has given me. And it has set me free, and it is setting me free. So I want you to come with me and join me in my growth with Celebrate Recovery.